Okay, thanks for the support and opposition witness. We will now bring the discussion back to our members. Do any members have any questions or comments? Senator, you want to start?
Thank you, Senator Skinner, for bringing this bill forward. As a person who has used both male restrooms and female restrooms in times of urgency and necessity, I understand that, the law does not prohibit one gender or another from using public restroom facilities. For me, it feels like a common sense approach. In respect to what has been shared today in opposition, I do see myself as a strong supporter of women, and I understand the creation of women's biology, but also recognize that we have progressed, we have evolved as a human species in that we have choice and identity, and we have choice in what we pursue as humans in terms of our essential needs. And I like the analogy that you made around toilet paper as an essential need, and that we have that in public restrooms. And so I'm thinking of that as well. I also was concerned about the area of period poverty, which is very real in terms of impacting women or people that identify as a woman, and feel that, with the evolution of culture in our society, that this is one of the bills that would help us to evolve in our thinking and to reduce some of that stigma as well. And I want to acknowledge that I had several students come to my office in the last few weeks from California State Stanislaus, as well as from UC Merced, that are both in my district. And I asked this question about what they thought about this bill and why, and specifically about the piece around having period products in males' restrooms. And I asked both female, male, and cisgender students what they thought. And by far, the approach or the response was in favor of this bill. So I want to thank you for bringing that forward and for helping us to tease out some of the details of that.
Thank you.
Senator Ashby.
Thank you so much. It's a really good bill, Senator Skinner. Thanks for bringing it forward. And I spare everyone all of our period stories, because probably don't need to go there. But I will tell you, as a person who's had 3 children, you will find yourself at times needing menstruation products for things other than menstruation as well. So having them in multiple restrooms will support lots of people. And I think, kind of the obvious thing is, hey, if you don't need it, guess what? You don't have to use it. It'll just be there for the people who do. It's not going to hurt anyone. Also, as my colleague said, we're progressing and we're moving towards less gender restrictive restrooms, which necessitates a broad view of access for a topic like this. And then finally, just to be brief, I just want to say this because I think it's really important. I pride myself on being very pro-woman. And it would take an extraordinary amount of mental gymnastics to convince yourself that a no vote on this would somehow be pro-woman.
Comments? Seeing none, we have a motion by Senator Archuleta. First, Senator Skinner, would you like to close?
Thank you so much. If I had known what the opposition would express, I would have been equipped to give you some of the science on the fact that this is not whether an individual menstruates or not, is not just a question of what we have come to sort of kind of narrowly define as female biology. In other words, there is great variation biologically in individuals. It is rare, but it occurs. And so, as I think anyone who looks in the literature can see, there are individuals with penises that have ovaries. There are individuals who have ovaries and testes, for example. So there's a great variation. Now, it is a small percent of the population, but this is a fact. This is not just a matter of what somebody chooses as a gender identity. But beyond that, I think the other members' points as to why this is important is more germane. And I grew up in a family where our family ran a community pharmacy, a drugstore. So you'd think that my sisters and I all would have had plenty of access to period products. But if I had every one of my sisters right here, we could all tell you more than many horror stories when we were ill-equipped. So this is very essential. And my close is, let's promote equity for all Californians that menstruate, period. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Skinner. The motion is due pass to Health Committee. Secretary, please call the roll.
Dodd?
Aye.
Dodd, aye. Wilk? Alvarado-Gil?
Aye.
Alvarado-Gil, aye. Archuleta?
Aye.
Archuleta, aye. Ashby?
Aye.
Ashby, aye. Bradford?
Aye.
Bradford, aye. Glazer? Jones?
Not voting.
Nguyen?
Not voting.
Ochoa Bo? Padilla?
Aye.
Padilla, aye. Portantino?
Aye.
Portantino, aye. Roth? Rubio? Ciardo?
Bill has 7 votes. We'll put that bill on call.